Welcome to Behind the Claw. We will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys are in jump. They have finally made their way um, off of Mithril. They have some the Bothhilder family survived and is uh, their daughter Runa is recuperating in the med bay, as is the other port worker, what was his name? Egil? Yes, Egil. Both of them are injured and are recovering in medbay, and these guys are spending a week in jump. They got their week of study time, but in addition, um, Xerxes' agent has been plugging away at the secret and lost information found in the computer core of uh, Stubborn Bastard, and it has come up with something. And this is what you guys find as the first piece of data that the agent pulls out.
So it's part of a book?
It's the whole book,
Oh, okay.
but it was encrypted. And I mean, this is not um, this novel. A few years ago, uh, this thing showed up on pretty much every data net across the Spinward Marches as a free download, and it is not ever going to win any awards. Most people think it is fairly trashy, but it was freely available, and this copy is sitting encrypted in Stubborn Bastard's walled off data core. And so then the question is, do you want the agent to continue digging, looking for more? Because there is tons more data for it to um, sift through,
Yeah,
all encrypted.
yeah. I have nothing else I need the agent to do, so I'll let it continue doing its thing while we're flying.
Okay, go ahead and make a or I'm sorry, electronics computers plus intellect check, and you get your bonus for database software, and you get a bonus for your agent. Okay, so the agent will continue plugging away to see what it is that you find out. So coming out of jump in Biter, you've been here before. Everybody can make a recon plus intellect check. Poor Audrey's down in the engineering section. She can't see anything.
Right. Sorry, my character sheet was acting up.
Oh, no problem.
But hey, it paid off.
Nice. So, Zerzi and Kaz, as you guys come out of jump, it takes a hot minute for the sensors to kind of pick up everything around you. Your passive sensors, though, are picking up large, a big fleet. Basically, I don't know what, because they haven't come out with the book yet. I don't know what the Sword Worlds refers to as their ships, but it would be equivalent in size to several squadrons, if not a Batron in the Imperium. Of course, looking here, I don't think the Sword Worlders really have much in the way of dreadnoughts. Biggest ship. That's oh yeah, I guess they do. Wow, it's a big cruiser. So yeah, there is at least 3 Denisov class battle cruisers, which come in at about 80,000 tons. There are a number of there's like there's 3 um, Birding class armed merchants, which are about 5,600 tons, along with several strike destroyers of 4,000 tons each. Glinton class mineling frigate. It's like they're all staging at Biter.
Are they in kind of a holding pattern, or are they like leaving the system?
They're just kind of there. They're not broadcast. I mean, their transponders codes are all set to active, but they are not. They're not. They don't appear to be moving for the 100 diameter jump limit or anything like that. But they're kind of sitting in that space between Biter and the 100 diameter jump limit. And this is a big fleet.
Since our ship is registered out of the Imperium, do they do anything with an Imperial ship flying in?
Well, you are registered out of the Imperium. However, you do have basically a annotation added to your transponder that you are recognized and are friends of Biter, or I'm sorry, friends of the Sword Worlds Confederation. So no, they don't really bat an eye at you. In fact, you aren't picking up any transmissions from them at all. You're not even hearing transmissions from between the ships. So the assumption here would be that everything that they are talking about is tight closed beam transmissions. There is no listening in on whatever it is they're talking about. But they don't appear to be moving in any kind of way to interact
Hostile.
with you. Yeah, they're not. They're not doing anything. Do they have a fighter?
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't take that ATV.
Yeah, again, man, I don't know. I don't know.
Kaz wants to go evil campaign. Steal, murder, plunder.
Not at all. It's just salvage.
Wait.
Is it so wrong to take a loaf of bread when you're hungry?
Yeah.
Is it so wrong to take an ATV when you're poor? No, of course not.
Oh,
I mean,
you're also picking up that there are at least 3 squadrons of Tarunma class fighters. These are 20-ton fighters that usually run screens around these larger ships like the 80,000 ton cruiser, and they're flying around. But as soon as it's like they move, the fighters would like move. You get an active ping from them. Your transponder responds because it's in passive mode, and then they veer off and they just ignore you. They haven't even sent you a welcome.
Now, what would it be strange to us? Because so if they're deploying screen fighters, does that mean that they expect something could potentially happen? Because I would think if they're in like peacetime mode, they wouldn't have fighters up.
No,
screening.
no. Any ship that is carrying fighters first procedure is start doing a standard picket with fighters always.
Okay.
Whether it's peacetime or not.
Because the thing about it, like how in the real world, if you load up a speedboat with explosives and that can fuck up a multi-million warship. So imagine the same thing but in space.
Right.
Well, I guess, I mean, we could potentially, because we're friends with Sword World, we can potentially see if they need any mercenaries for anything once we drop these people off.
Sure. I mean, I'm down for some merc work. Why not? It pays well.
Military,
Yeah, we can ask.
military contracts can also give us access to some good shit.
Yeah, like the stealth hull eventually. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
So
It's gonna be a spot ship.
So one of the things that out of game, one of the things that you hear frequently, like almost constantly, in all of the online forums, whether it be Facebook or X or whatever, with Traveler, is that it, inevitably it always comes up, and there seems to be this overriding opinion that fighters in Traveler are useless. Which, sure, if you don't know how to use a fighter. I mean, pure and simple. What's the purpose of a fighter screen? To harass the smaller craft because the big boats are shooting at each other with mace on spinal mounts and things like that. And they screen missiles. You don't need a whole bunch of point defense when you've got, 25 fighters that are out there chasing down missiles for you. The biggest problem with the people that think that fighters are useless in Traveler are because they don't know how fighters operate. They don't know how to use them. They, quite frankly, are terrible at the space tactics that Traveler has presented to them. They should probably read the books again. But that is the main purpose of fighters, is that if there is, for whatever reason, a missile attack, they can be a fighter screen and they can shoot down missiles before they reach the target, or they will be because they are so fast. I mean, this Sword World fighter has it only has thrust 6. That's still, for a 20-ton vessel, that's pretty quick. But they're going to, because they're at thrust 6, they are going to be further ranging, and they are extending that sensor reach for the larger vessels. And so if there is a threat, they are going to be able to see it a lot sooner than they would without them. And so they, like I said, though, these things catch you, they peep on you and send a ping as soon as you've come out of jump space, and as soon as they get the response from your transponder, they turn and go about their business. And they're flying a standard, fleet watch around this fleet of military ships.
Yeah, I guess we're going to the biter station to park, unload these people, and ideally sell this metal too. That'd be nice.
Sure, you can go ahead and radio biter flight control. And tell them what you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
let
mean-
them know. Oh, go ahead.
Go
Chris.
ahead. Well, yeah, because I mean, they'll do an electronic comms test, I suppose, and
You
be
don't.
like, yeah,
I mean, you're not cracking encryption or doing any kind of. I would hope you're not trying to do any kind of.
No. no, not at all.
Surveillance
So, yeah,
or warfare
No.
or electronic countermeasures or anything like that. So I mean, you just rated them.
Oh yeah, okay.
So what are you saying?
Oh well, I right. I tell them that we're here for passenger offload, and trading and jobs.
And Chad,
Nah,
we want your gerbs.
that's exactly it. Enjoy your
So
yes.
so biter flight control calls back. Stubborn bastard, we have you on our sensors. You're pinging as being friendly with the Sword Worlds. And they list off on your comm screen. There is listed off a code that's in all red that you've never seen before. And they say you have priority landing access. You have permission to dock in docking bay 2.
Interesting. Okay. Well, fair enough. I kill the comms channel and tell Zerzy that yeah, looks like they're aware of something that we did. It's either your contact pulling strings, or they became aware of the situation on Mithril. Either or, I'm guessing.
My bet is probably both.
Yeah, could be both. Could be both.
Maybe.
No,
So
no. Right. Also, importantly, I tell them that we're going to need corpse disposal. But like, to clarify, I tell this to them legally, as in, we have a patient who is deceased in our, currently on ice.
right.
We're going to need somebody to take them off our hands. Their name is so and so. Their ID, because we have all that. We have their like ID records. So
Yes.
Yeah.
She was Katrin Gurowetz. Boy,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound Norwegian at all. And
Right.
so she's a long way from her nationality. And so they immediately I mean, not immediately, it takes them a hot minute for them to kind of look up her service record, and on your comm screen a picture of Katrin pops up along with her service record, and it says, "Please confirm, stubborn bastard, is this the deceased technician?"
Yes, I send confirmation. I send a copy of her medical readout that I would have, that I would have done while she's in our med bay and in our cryo tube.
Okay, and so the Starport Control says, "Stubborn bastard, there will be funerary detail for body pickup waiting for you in docking bay 2. We'll take care of the rest from here."
Okay, sounds good. And start making our way towards docking bay 2.
Okay, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check. Let's see if you embarrass yourselves in landing.
I should hope not. I should hope.
I mean, it's
not.
a routine 6+ check. So, oh yeah, you smoke it. I mean, you probably do a little barrel roll as you come in, showing off. Everybody can make another recon plus intellect check.
And then I need to go pick up my Uber order, so be right back.
All right.
He goes from an amazing piloting to a double nat 1.
Pokes an eye out while trying to look out the window. So Zerzy and Audrey, you as he is kind of focusing on flying, Kaz doesn't notice this, but you notice that docking bay 2, it seems that there are about 10 docking bays that are kind of on a higher tier than the standard docking bays that are usually set up for biter downport. And these higher tier docking bays appear to be well, I mean, you can see as he's pulling in that they are closer to a bunch of buildings that are nondescript. They have no signage outside. They are just, white-faced buildings with black-tinted windows. There are a number of stairs and people movers and lift elevators that go down to the main concourse of the starport. But this area seems to be segregated, and these 10 docking bays are right next to these buildings, and they look like these docking bays look like they can support up to about 600, a craft of about 600 tons.
With my background in being a high-end diplomat, would I think these are kind of like military or like black site kind of vibes?
Neither. With your background, this is not that unusual to you. These are the likelihood is that these are government administration buildings. Usually,
I,
they are based, starport administration buildings.
all right. And before we land, I want to make sure that I pack the box up exactly how it was, and make sure like I clear any kind of trace because I rolled I think an 18 on when I was hacking into it. Like, make sure that it doesn't look like I hacked into it or anything. Now, if Kurt asks me, I'll probably be honest with him because he's been honest with me that I just made a backup just in case. But if nobody asks, then nobody asks.
Okay. So, you, Kaz sets you guys down, and as soon as you're set down, he flips some switches, and it is going through putting the reactor into standby mode, and you are free for egress.
All right, then we exit the ship.
Okay. So as you guys step out of the of your airlock, I assume that you're bringing out the body with you, or are you having the funerary detail go in and collect the corpse? How are you wanting to do this?
What would be more like typical for Sword Worlder? Because I would try to be as respectful as I could.
I guess the first question is whether you want any. It's bad enough that you have to go through it every so often. Customs checks and maintenance checks where port officials have to go aboard your ship. They're not asking. The Sword Worlders aren't asking you for any of that. They're not wanting to search your vessel. So it really comes up on the first part is whether or not you want these guys aboard your ship. The funerary detail, they all appear to be in not necessarily dress uniform, but they are in duty uniforms. They are unarmed.
Okay. I mean, unless Audrey has any objection, I have no problem with them coming on. I mean, I served with Sword Wielders for months, so.
Audrey does not object.
Okay. Welcome back, Kaz.
I'll come out and welcome back, Kaz. I'll come out and like show them into where the body is kept.
Yeah, and they bring a stretcher with them, and they a weird thing is they are coming into the airlock with the stretcher. They salute you guys.
Interesting.
And so they go into the ship. They ask for directions to your med bay. Not that it's that difficult to find because it's right there off the main common area, right when you step into the airlock. It's kind of like, where's your bathroom? Well, right there. On a ship this size, oh, you're standing in it. There's just a drain on the floor. As they come in with a stretcher to go collect Katrin's body, you see Kurt Avos running up the ramp from the administration buildings to your landing pad, and he's kind of weaving in and out of starport engineers and technicians, and then kind of running through the funerary detail guys that are still waiting outside, and he's holding up his hand, waving to you guys.
I'll definitely walk eagerly towards him, and when I get to him, I'll give him a nice, respectful, firm handshake.
So he shakes your hand. And he says, "So how are you liking the priority digs that I worked up for you?"
My friend, you have outdone yourself. I do have a gift for you, though. I guess we'll talk about it more in private.
He says, "Yeah, come with me, and let's go to my office, and we can discuss what you found. I'm hoping it's good news." And so he leaves the three of you, or four of you. If are you bringing Clanker with you, or are you leaving Clanker at the ship?
I'll leave Clanker in the ship. I'll let him just watch the ship.
Okay. So Kurt leaves the three of you out of the docking pad and into this kind of administration wing of the starport. And as you are getting closer and closer in, you can see that there are a number of concerns in this area. The first of them being, of course, banking. but more of banking on like more of the administrative side. So for example, and I don't even think that I'm not even sure that that building is still there. I know it's still there, but I don't think it's owned by the bank anymore. Anyways, in downtown Portland, there's a massive tower, skyscraper, huge, and it for as long as almost as long as I was alive, it was known as the U.S. Bank Corp Tower. You didn't go to the U.S. Bank Corp Tower to withdraw money. There was no bank there. At the top floor was like very, very top was of course their C-suite, and just below that was their mainframe system that basically uh, fed data at all the ATMs and banks in like Oregon, Washington, California, etc. And then beyond that, it was just all administrative. And so that's kind of what these banking facilities are like. Um, Obviously, there are high end brokers and things like that are working here, but this is not banking where you go to make a transaction. These guys are doing shit on the back end. They're probably doing investments and things like that.
I will say I do have the black box with me.
Yes.
This time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you're carrying it. It's a briefcase, and so the other concerns that are here, you do see like a few other corporate administrative type concerns. No shops or anything like that. These are all office buildings, and then finally you get into an area of these buildings that they don't have any signs on anything, and it is fairly clear to you that these are government buildings. You start seeing armed security or armed military personnel walking around, just sidearms. There are some checkpoints asking for IDs to enter and exit buildings, things like that. And Kurt comes up to a building and he shows his ID and he says, "These are my guests," and there are no questions asked. You guys are just let in, and you can all make a recon plus intellect check. So actually, you all got it because it is pretty obvious. These are intelligence buildings. These are intelligence division administrative buildings. So this is where the handlers sit. This is where the plans are made, and then those are fed out to the poor schleps that are on the ground. You guys. And so Kurt leads you into a small briefing room, and he sets you all down. He says, "So, what did you find out about our agent on Mithril?"
I'll wait if anybody else wants to speak first.
We did not find him.
Kaz would defer to Zerzy since it's his show in this case. So
okay.
Your man was there, but then he left. Unfortunately, some shit happened at that place. It was attacked by a starship. We found evidence of low-powered starship lasers hitting the base. Dead bodies that have been hastily destroyed. We found a science family team, which we saved them. And then I found
by the way, Bothilders have the Starport Authority transferred Runa and the Bothilder family to a hospital and have taken over overseeing Runa's recovery.
Good. And I did find this before we took off, and that's why I set the briefcase on the table and opened it up. And I'll be honest, I've opened it up. I've checked everything out. I had to adjust the bio lock. I can erase my thumb if I need to, but I open it up and start setting the stuff out: the money, the tablet, the maps. So this was all hidden underneath the landing pad.
So
kind of like the vents.
He takes the data pad and he reaches under the desk and pulls out a cable and plugs it in, and sets the the pad on the table, and he then grabs the money. He goes, "Here you go. You can keep that. We don't have any need for imperial credits here in the Sword Worlds." He says,
Well,
"No, go ahead."
I think it was script, right? It was some sort of script. I don't remember what kind.
No, it is actual imperial. I believe it was like what 3,000 imperial credits.
Oh, I thought you said it was like 1,500 like script or something.
No,
I
it's
don't
not
recall.
script.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you push it to me, I'll just hand it to Audrey. Like, here you go, some spending money.
But okay, Audrey holds on to the money.
Don't spend that at one Astra Burger. So yeah, he kind of plugs it in, and he on a screen behind him, a bunch of data and these maps start coming up, and he opens up the paper map, and he kind of laughs, and he says, "Yes, this particular agent always did like to he preferred to use hard copy, and he always made a hard copy of whatever he was working on digitally." And he looks at it and he says, "Unfortunately, this doesn't tell me much. Obviously, I mean, there's something going on at Gorham." And he says, "So you said the outpost on Mithril was attacked. So what was it? Did he leave, or do you think that he was taken?"
I look to the other two. I believe we don't know. I don't think
Do not know.
the ship that attacked, we believe, came back as we were leaving, but we managed to evade them. They were doing a grid scan.
He said they were probably searching for any survivors, and they were probably searching for this. And he kind of sits back in his chair, and he looks at the digital data that's coming up, and he says, "This is interesting." Says, "Don't leave Biter right away." He says, "If you haven't noticed, you guys, I've given you guys a Sword Worlds intelligence code, making you Sword Worlds intelligence assets. You're not necessarily a part of the intelligence community, but there are certain perks that come with it." Says, "But don't leave right away." Says, "Go ahead and conduct whatever business that you have. I mean, I know that you've been. My contacts tell me that you've been operating as a trade crew." And he says, "So I would imagine that you probably have items to trade here on Biter, and you can go ahead and, of course, deal with that. I will do some research into this, and I will contact you as soon as I am done."
Sounds good to me. I do know that if we get a job, we would love to try to do something that could reward us some military contacts or equipment. I know my friend Kaz here is kind of dying to get into some high tech weaponry and such.
He says, "I could probably float you some. I could probably float you some items, or get you licensed to purchase some items. We'll go ahead and look further into that here as soon as I contact you."
Audrey, is there anything you're really hoping to get, just in general?
Oh yeah, well, Audrey would say she would want to buy a new gun and then also get a pallet of pet food for Tom.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you just got 3,000 credits. You can go buy food for Tom, and probably have plenty of money left over. So yeah, he basically tells you, he says he doesn't think it'll take too long. Might take a day, and he'll contact you, and that should be more than enough time for you to conduct any business you were going to do here on Biter.
Yes, we have some stuff to sell, and we could always try to find more contacts and try not to get in too much trouble.
Okay. So yeah, you guys leave the building and kind of make your way out of this administrative complex and down onto the concourse of Biter's Class B downport. It seems to you coming down. I mean, it's kind of like in the old days, a mall at Christmas. It seems there is a lot of people moving about. And you immediately notice that most of the people, probably 2/3 of them, are all in Sword Worlds military uniforms.
Hmm.
They don't seem to be, like, on patrol. It looks like going about either official business or on shore leave.
I'll be right back. I need to go grab my kid real quick.
Sure.
So, Audrey, have fun. You're the main character now.
Okay.
Just a second. Wow, that is a lot. Shit. Let me find some information here. Where are they at? Oh, okay. I always forget how small the Sword Worlds really is. So it is a part of the Trailing World. There we go. Hmm. Audrey and Kaz, you can both make a recon plus intellect check. Sweet. So there are a number of info terminals available on the concourse, basically giving bits and pieces of information. Kaz, you notice as you're passing one, basically these are like a bit of history about Biter in general, and it states that Biter was actually terraformed by the ancients, but it was too small for the terraforming to permanently hold. And that is one of the reasons why Biter, basically everywhere outside of the starport, has such a thin atmosphere, and it requires a respirator in order for you to um, traverse
Oh.
outside.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
It basically states that because of the thin atmosphere, the planet retains little water. In fact, it loses more and more every year. Currently, it only has about 40% surface water coverage, but the water that is there is very shallow and is surrounded by mineral flats. That are basically, these mineral flats are created by the evaporation of the water because of the thin atmosphere. In low-lying areas, the air is a little thicker than elsewhere, and it is probable that life will possibly um, kind of thrive in these shallow coastal waters. or at least continue to survive after the air pressure has dropped to unsafe levels for other people. They estimate that this is way in the future. When we're talking like a million years, 800,000 years, somewhere in there. Another info screen shows that the continental interior is mostly desert. So these areas on this map. And that there are currently they've identified creatures and plants from at least 43 other worlds that have been presumably imported to Biter or were imported to Biter by the ancients. They are not natural to the system. And the ecosystem is currently in flux due to the changing conditions caused by oceanic evaporation. So you guys have cargo to offload. You got what, 20 tons of ore that you want to sell? Is there any? I don't remember.
Yeah,
is there anything else? Is there anything else in the cargo hold?
We have the 800,000 gold, not gold, 800,000 credits worth of anagathics that I'm gonna surreptitiously try to find a buyer for. But
okay.
Actually, considering the military presence, maybe not here. How many people does this place have? How big is Biter?
So that's a good question. Let's see. I will tell you. So Biter's small, about 4,800 kilometers. Examples would be Mercury or Ganymede, and it only has a 0.25 surface gravity.
So we're floating. Well, not floating, but
I stand corrected. You don't need a filter or respirator, but the atmosphere is thin. Air pressure is between 0.43 and 0.7. Probably where the starport is, it's probably lower and probably closer to 0.7. Exact hydrographics between 36 and 45%. Yeah, that tracks. It's about 40%. So it is a wet world. But like they said, seas are very shallow because of the evaporation of water from the planet. Population is in the millions, about 6 million. Would be average for Biter.
All right, so there's a good chance I might be able to find a buyer.
Government is a participating democracy. Drugs are contraband. So maybe not. I mean, not that you can't find a buyer, but
yeah.
Law level is 3. Military weapons are banned, and portable energy and laser weapons, poison gas, explosives, undetectable weapons, and WMDs. Armor is flat combat armor and battle dress and pretty much everything in between there. Cloth is not banned, though. And so, and the tech level on Biter is tech level 11.
Okay, not bad.
So, I mean, it's Biter is one of the few worlds that is sitting like right at about the modicum of, well, right at about the tech level of the Sword Worlds overall. Is their tech level is between 11 and 12. So, yeah, I mean, who wants to, I guess, hold on here. Bring up broker. So, who wants to make a broker plus social check to try to find a buyer? And how are you going about this? Where are you going to try to sell these? I mean, there's a number of exchanges that you can go to. I mean, you could kind of go to an industrial area and start asking around in dive bars. It's up to you, however you want to deal with this.
Okay, Kaz muted Mike. I was gonna say I think we should probably split up. If he wants to go try to sell those highly illegal stuff, smaller the better, probably.
Well, I was thinking of starting with your ore because you've got
Oh, okay.
20 tons of ore. You're not going to sell.
There's-
You're not going to sell the illegal anagathics at an exchange.
Is anybody else besides me skilled in broker?
No.
Okay,
All right, go ahead and make a broker plus social check.
11.
Okay, and
Nice.
so where are you going to do? Are you going to an exchange? Are you going to a industrial area? Are you picking out a specific corporate entity? What are you?
Let's go to an exchange.
Okay. So with an 11, you do find a broker. Let me see. Let's see. Was this uncommon or was this?
Yeah, it's uncommon ore, so it's 53.
Yep. And you've got 20 tons of it.
Yes, sir. And it costs us 85,000.
Base price
So-
is 5,000 per ton. Which means that 20 tons of that ore baseline is worth about 100,000 credits. Industrial plus 3, non-industrial plus 1. What do we have? It is non-industrial, so it is plus 1. Go ahead and make a broker plus intellect check, and you can add a plus 1 to that.
A 12.
Okay, so you are negotiating for a good deal. I need to see what that exactly means. Here. That means I get to make, whoops. I also get to make a broker check. And we'll see if... No, they do not beat you. So yes, you can sell it for 100,000 credits. Is that what their
We
offer
get
is?
more money.
Yeah, I don't even think I really need to haggle. I mean, we're making a 15,000 credit profit just off of that. Yeah, I will gladly take their offer.
Okay.
And I will update our ship log.
And the exchange, she kind of goes through the selling process, and you get a digital confirmation, kind of a receipt or invoice, and it shows that the ore was purchased by Stern Metal Horizons.
Actually, so they're I assume they're like a mining conglomerate or something.
Yeah, they are. Stern Metal is a mega corporation that basically is in, for the most part, that all they really do is mining stuff. They are heavily competitive with Ling Standard products. Although Ling Standard products has diversified into numerous other fields, whereas Stern Metal is focusing just on speculative mining operations, either setting up a long-term mining operation or going to new worlds and seeing if there is ore to be processed off of those planets.
before I leave, I will say, since after seeing that, I will say, do you by any chance purchase mining data?
Not at the exchange, because she just basically transferred the data to Stern Metal. But you could go to Stern Metal Horizons office and ask them.
Okay. I'll get directions for it because we do have some high value mining data from Mithril.
So, Audrey, while you are kind of standing around, while Zerzy is conducting um, trade, you see that there is a number of screens around the exchange that are basically displaying up to date, well, in air quotes, up to date news from the Traveler News Service, and this one kind of pops up.
Search of Stellar Divinity. Oh, that's the planet we were on where the volcano erupted.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, okay, and now they're sending more aid to that planet.
Yes, they are. They are. This guy, Bishop Lewins of Atson. So, you've kind of heard of this. The Church of Stellar Divinity is a fairly popular religion in the Spinward Marches, but not just, but pretty much all over charted space. They spread like fleas. Um, and this particular guy, Bishop Lewins of Atson, he is a weird one. Like, he thinks that the gods have ordained him specifically. The Church of Stellar Divinity never kind of promoted him. They never promoted him to bishop. He did that on his own, and he just goes around and tells everybody that he's a bishop. And so far, it's worked well enough for him that nobody has really questioned that or pushed back on it too much. But the whole idea for the Church of Stellar Divinity is they think that God or the gods can be found in jump space. And so there have been a couple of cases where these religious congregations will rent a ship or request passage on a ship. And normally on a ship, when it goes into jump space, it shuts the shutters. The windows are closed. Nobody can see outside the ship because theoretically speaking, you are in a pocket universe that encompasses only your ship. There's nothing to see anyways. These guys will request pay extra money in order to open some of the shutters so that they can look out into jump space. This has occasionally caused a few of them to kind of go batshit crazy. Not like dangerous crazy, but they do tend to become mentally hilarious. And the situation, this has happened enough times that the question has been posited to by medical professionals on whether or not if staring into jump space can actually make you go nuts, which is a possibility, or if these guys had overriding mental problems to begin with before this all happened. There hasn't been enough study done on it as of yet, because the Church of Stellar Divinity, being a church, kind of shuts out the psychiatric community from overlooking what it is that they're doing. Another news article pops up that you notice as Zerzy is finishing, and it is this one. It's a classifieds ad from Traveler News Service.
Oh. Well, we're experienced free traders. Oh yeah, Audrey takes a picture of that to show to the rest of the crew.
Okay. So, yeah, Zerzy, you finish up trading. You have 100,000 credits back in your hand, and Audrey kind of forwards this classified ad to all of you.
I'm gonna just look at her and just be like, what are the odds?
We are looking for work.
Yes, but I
so
also want to see what Kurt wants us to do too.
So specifically, the ad says it's 100,000 credits per parsec from Lunyan to Gorham. So if you look at this map, so
500,000 credits.
yeah,
total.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean they're going to pay you 500,000 credits to travel 3 parsecs, and the only downside of that, well, maybe hold on. 2, 3. Yeah, they're going to pay you 500,000 credits to go from Lunyan to Gorham. You are 1, 2, 3 jumps away from Lunyan, so you'd have to pay for fuel or do wilderness refueling between there. But I mean, you could also carry cargo. Like your first drop, you could stop at Beachy, and there's a military base there, so that's a good chance of. Let me look at the starport.
Actually, we gotta move our ship because we're not at Mithril anymore.
Yes, that is a good point. You are at Biter. So, Beachy has a Class A starport. So, yeah, Class A starport, tech level 12. Yeah, you could do some business there. From Beachy, if you look at Dershon, it's a Class C starport, tech level 8. There is a scout base there. But to be honest, I mean, if you were to bring luxury goods to Dershon, you could theoretically make quite a good chunk of money because there's nothing there. They're tech level 8. And then, of course, Lunyan is the subsector capital, A-class terminal, or Class A starport, and let's see here. Tech level 14 at Lunyan. So there's a lot of possibilities between Biter and Lunyan. And then you get essentially 500,000 credits for just picking up the cargo and taking it to Gorham Station.
I think we should bring this up with Kurt because we could go there and potentially also do some spying or something.
Yeah, this Gorham was that area that had the X on the map.
Yes.
Correct, Gorham. And so the one thing that comes up as you are kind of looking this over, Gorham is a red zoned system. And as is typical with red zone systems, the Imperium, you know, these systems are usually red zoned by the Scout Service, but they're not usually going to give out a public reason as to why they're red zoned. So your guess is as good as, at this point, your guess is as good as anybody else's.
Well, I think we should definitely try to spin something so we can multi-job this.
I mean, one interesting fact about this is that it's a red zone system, but the ad clearly states that it's for supplies being sent to Gorham Station. So there's a station there in a red zone system. Is Kaz back with us?
I was muted this whole time. Good job, me. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what I was actually saying is isn't there that system that is also telling red zone because the people there are really weird and fucked up, but there's still like an observation post there. So I'm guessing maybe is that like the situation?
You don't know.
Okay.
No actual information is given on any of the jump tapes.
Mhm.
It's just listed by the Imperial Interstellar Scout Service as being a red zone system. So the way the red zones work is that the Scout Service is the one that determines whether or not a system needs to be red zoned or not. Usually, probably about 9 times out of 10, it's the Scout Service. But that red zone is then enforced by the Imperial Navy.
Mhm.
So I mean, about 10% of the time, the Imperial Navy says, "Nope, nobody's coming through here." This is like this one down, like Nurton. Nurton, the Navy was like, "No, it's red zoned," but in 90% of the cases, it's actually the Interstellar Scout Service. Um, it could be for a number of reasons. Worst case scenarios are like um, terrible viral or disease outbreak that there's no known cure for would be an example as a worst case scenario. They don't want anything landing there and bringing that out. Another worst case scenario, Chamax. Look what happened in the Foreven sector with a bunch of travelers just landing randomly on a planet and mucking about, and now they're Chamax. If you want Chamax, that's how you get them. Um, which are basically psionic spiders.
The worst kind of spiders, don't you know?
Which psionic giant spiders. Yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah, they Chamax are fun. So
Well, yes. I mean, I'm in agreement. Let's go talk to Kurt. All right. Well, no, you go talk to Kurt. I'm gonna try to sell some drugs. You talk to Kurt, find out if he's got a job that's gonna lead us that way. But yes, I'm also in agreement. Let's do Gorham.
so Zerzy and Audrey, like Kurt hasn't contacted you yet. Did you guys want to spend some time in the Star Town? Are you looking for accommodations? Are you staying on your ship? You looking for something to
I'm,
eat? What are you guys doing?
I'm selling drugs. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go
Right.
find
You're going to go sell
a
drugs while you're doing that. Is Zerzy and Audrey going to be looking for accommodations, or are you getting food? What are you doing?
I want to go to Stern Metal's corporate office so I can try to sell that mining data real quick.
Okay. So, you go into Stern Metal Horizons. They do have a small office here. Um, I mean, they are technically an Imperial LLC, or LIC, Limited Imperial Corporation. However, that gives them they're not government. They're not a part of the imperial government, so they have some leeway, and they do operations in the Sword Worlds as well, and so they have um, a small satellite office here. And I mean, it is very the office itself is very austere. I wouldn't say that it's like the it's not like the wood paneled mobile home that you see on some large construction sites. I mean, that's the image I have in my head, but it's probably not that bad. But it's similar to that. A very small 2-story. Probably does have wood paneling. The worst kind from the late '70s, kind of wood paneling on the walls. And there's a receptionist and just a closed door, and then outside there's a staircase that goes up to a second floor. Um, looks like a big office upstairs, and the receptionist greets you. She says, "Welcome to Stern Metal Horizons. We don't get very many visitors. What can I do for you?"
I pull out my tablet and show her the transaction I just made very recently of selling a bunch of ore to one of their people. And I say, I just sold some ore to one of your people. However, I do have access to some very valuable mining data on Mithril, and I would love to chat with your people and potentially sell it to you.
Go ahead and make a broker plus social check. I need to find that.
14.
Okay.
Ooh.
So she says, well, yeah. She says, we only have the one broker here, so let me go ahead and call him and get him on to see what he thinks of this. So, yeah, this she calls and she says that he's coming right down. He'll be down in just a moment. And he comes down the stairwell outside and lets himself into the lobby area. And he greets you, shakes your hand. He says, "Yes. So I understand you may have some mining information for Mithril."
Ah, yes, of course. I'm Captain Zerzy of the Stubborn Bastard. We just left Mithril, as a matter of fact. However, we do have a good sensor suite on my ship, and I kind of start pulling up some of the data and showing him on my my tablet, and say, yeah, I mean, this is all brand new data, just found only a handful of days ago.
So he kind of looks it over and he says, "So he says this is very interesting, and I am very interested in purchasing it. However, he says, as you may know, he says first, I'm impressed that a trade ship such as yourselves was able to even land at Mithril because I mean it's a Sword Worlds only it's one of the metal worlds and they are kind of sitting on them, and the only trade ships that are allowed to land there are ones that are known to be friendly, and it's not just friendly to the Sword Worlds, but it's kind of friendly to the outposts on those worlds. Otherwise, they're you're the ship captains are told to shove off and go get their fuel somewhere else. He says, so that part impresses me. He says, the problem that I run into is that, again, they're the metal worlds. And so because they're the metal worlds, they are obviously owned by the Sword Worlds Confederation, but for, the last 50 to 100 years, the Sword Worlds has done nothing with them. And they've kind of locked those worlds down, and there's every so often a political candidate that's running for office, or there's some pundit in the in the halls of government for the Sword Worlds that says something about wanting to do something with the metal worlds, and nothing ever comes to fruition. And so he says, I don't, even if we had the data, I don't know that we would be able to act on it, because I don't know. It's unlikely that the Sword World is going to give us a contract to mine there.
Well, yes. However, what you could do is buy the data and turn on. You could resell it to a Sword Worlders corporation, because they probably would be able to.
He kind of nods and he says that is not a bad idea. Go ahead and make a broker plus intellect check, and you get a +1. He says, I will give you 85,000 credits, Imperial credits, for this mining data.
I'm just gonna look at him and say, I like even numbers, and the even number that rings in my ear is 90,000.
Make another broker plus intellect check.
Do I get a +1 again or no?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
He kind of he thinks about it. He says, "What's another 5,000?" Yeah, I'll give you 90,000 credits for it.
Hey, we got more
Perfect.
money.
And I give him a nice firm handshake, and whenever he brings a tablet or something, I transfer over the mining data to him.
Okay, so he takes that. He says, "I will go and meet the first thing that he says. Of course, you may or may not know this. First part of this is I have to stake a claim with this mineral data, and then once the claim is staked, I can then sell the claim to the Sword Worlds Confederation authorities." And he shakes your hand, says, "It's a pleasure doing business with you. If you find any other interesting bits of mineral data, feel free to stop by again."
Sure. And I assume you guys have like offices all over in the Imperium, also, right? Because
Oh,
my
yes.
ship may be going into Imperium territory. Feel free to tell your colleagues about the stubborn bastard and our willingness to help find and sell mining data.
He shakes your hand and says, I'll do that. So, Kaz, where are you going to try and sell your anagathics?
Again, I'm not gonna go to like the really the really downscale stuff because people there aren't gonna have money. Instead, I'm gonna go for again. I think I'm gonna look for corporate level stuff actually, like the places where the various a middle to upper tier management goes after like to go like unwind after a hard days at the hard week at the office.
Okay. Let me see what. Whoops. Let me see what we got for that. So you're looking for like a bar or lounge or
Yeah, lounge. Yeah, lounge. Yeah, lounge would definitely be the kind of place I'm looking for.
so in the kind of in the just below where the administration buildings were that you where you had your meeting with Kurt. Just below that are some of the more upscale area restaurants. There is a Planetfall Bar and Grill, kind of a nicer establishment. According to some that you would talk to in numerous starports, you would be told that there's a Planetfall Bar and Grill in every starport in None Space, and you know that that's not true. Actually, they're far fewer in between than you would than some of the other ones. But you do every single one that you've ever been into claims that it is the original. And you know that that's impossible too. It's
Well, yeah.
evident that it is part of some kind of chain, and they tend to have relaxed atmosphere, caters to starfarers, things like that. Across from the Planetfall Bar and Grill, there is the Torpedo Bay, and this is a chain of bars that caters specifically to naval personnel. In this case, they cater to Sword Worlds naval personnel. They do have a specialty drink called Torpedo Juice, which is a adage to an ancient maritime practice of mixing alcohol from a torpedo's propulsion system with pineapple juice to create a potent but unpalatable beverage. The version served at Torpedo Bay is quite a bit more pleasant to drink. And both of these are kind of upscale.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna go to the naval place because that sounds questionable. So yeah, we'll go to the other one.
Okay. So you step into Planetfall Bar and Grill. It is kind of a dim lighting, and there are a number of like wraparound booths. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a Black Angus steakhouse, but some of their booths like are completely enclosed and they're like 10 feet tall. And so, and they're heavily padded, the walls of the booth, so you can have an entire conversation at normal talking level, and nobody else around you in another booth can hear you.
Mhm.
Odd. There are also little side rooms that can be rented out, um, by the hour for private gatherings. Um, but for the most part, it's just a very relaxed atmosphere, as far as decorations and the fare that's sold. And most of the staff here, it's obvious, are ex-spacers, or retired, uh, you know, personnel from trade crews and whatnot that have kind of found their way here, and so they kind of have a similar mindset to most of the people that would come in. It is a
Okay.
beer and steak sort of place.
All right. Well, a little less upscale than I wanted, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my streetwise check. I will be using also telepathy to, kind of make sure that any potential targets that I find, that to make sure that they're basically not cops.
Okay, so
So
you kind of make your way down to the bar area, and there's a dance floor, and there's a small band that's playing, and go ahead and make how much are you spending on drinks? And are you spending it buying it, or are you carousing, or are you doing streetwise?
no, I'm doing streetwise. I'm
Okay,
doing streetwise.
go ahead and make a
So
go ahead and make a streetwise plus intellect check.
yeah, and I'll spend let's see, 300, 400. I've called 500, whatever.
Okay, so you get a damn nice steak dinner. You get plenty of beer, and not like generic beer either. This is good Sword World shit. Shit, you're probably not even
Yeah.
drinking beer. You're probably drinking mead.
Yeah, okay, legit. Hate the stuff IRL, but all right. All right, then streetwise it is then. All right, well, that's a 10. Not bad, not bad.
Okay, um, so you make a couple of contacts here, um, that they seem like they are, I wouldn't say upper echelon execs, but they are definitely middle management, middle tier executives, that are I mean, you're most of these people that you're meeting are in their mid 50s to early 60s. I mean, I don't know what the retirement age in the Imperium is, but it's probably obscene with
Oh
medicine
yeah.
and in the future. Um, I would think that
'Cause
you're talking probably 100 before you're even considering to be retirement. Maybe
yeah, because
maybe upwards of like 110, 120, and that's
I was
without
gonna say,
anagathics.
yeah, but with that anagathics, like people live to be like 150, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, because medicine is in most places so good. I don't know that it's that great in Sword Worlds, but a lot of these, they are in the 50s to 65 age range. And so, I mean, these are the ones that are going to be interested most in, they didn't consider the chance of longevity in their youth, and so now they're kind of wanting to look at that in a more serious light because they're about halfway through their life.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, you meet a couple of these people. You can go ahead and make if you want to do a psionics check, you can.
Already did.
What'd you get for
A
telepathy?
10.
10. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, scanning surface thoughts. You don't. I mean, you come up with what you were expecting. You're not finding anybody that is like an undercover cop or anything like that.
Right, which is really what I'm concerned about. So if I can avoid that, then then I'll make my pitch to them and
So I
be
mean,
like, hey kid, you
yeah, you are able to. So off of your streetwise check, you are able to kind of narrow down. I mean, not only did you not pick up anybody who's the popo, but you are able to narrow down these potentials more into a specific group. And with a 10, um, you are able to determine that one of them is more likely to be a dealer to others in the corporate world.
so okay, if he's likely to be a dealer, then you know what? I think it's better for me to sell to him. We'll take a loss. But that's fine because we got this shit for free anyway. So, and he already has the context to liquidate it. So basically I'll take like whatever, some loss and then call it and but it avoids the hassle of me having to set up the entire network myself. So, yeah, I'm going to go reach out to that guy.
Okay. On here. Yeah, so you kind of reach out to this guy, you kind of strike up a conversation. Um how are you going about this? Like, what are you saying?
Generally very casual. I basically, over like the drinks that we're having, like, yeah, I'm a spacer, did some work, did some, I'm a traveler, member of the TSA, all that sort of cool stuff. And in my travels, I pick up, I pick up interesting things, and some of the stuff we sell on the exchange, and some of the stuff we sell to collectors and some of the stuff we sell to interested parties. Um, and I'm a very good doctor. We have a state of the art suite on a medical suite on our ship, and as it so happens that as part of the medical shenanigans, I just happen to have something that might be of interest to you. I think, and something of interest to the executive is getting so starting to get a little long in the tooth. A little pick me up, a very expensive but worthwhile pick me up.
So he says, okay, I think I understand what you're saying. How much of this do you have?
40 doses.
Okay, okay.
I say, it's a one time thing. I don't know anybody here. I'm willing to, and no, I basically I play with my hands open. I'm willing to take a loss. Because I don't know anybody here. We're just stopping by. Who knows who knows where the space winds will take me next. So I'd rather just offload it to somebody who does seem to know who is aware of the currents in this situation, and just call it a day.
Okay. Just looking. Okay, so the estimated cost that you have, value that you have is 800,000. The one dose of anagathics is 1D times 25,000 credits for each term. So a term being 4 years. So you only have to take a dose every 4 years. It's not a monthly thing, which makes it better. In previous printings of second edition, it was questionable. I think in the first printing of second edition, it sounded like it was required every month.
That's what I seem to recall, but
which reading this, it is for each term that the traveler uses drugs. So it's 25,000. Um, every 4 years, which kind of makes sense because I would assume that Anagathics would be kind of like, you know, Chimera or Humera on steroids. It's got to be a biological of some kind. So this makes sense.
Yeah.
One injection every 4 years. If you have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours, please see your medic. So yeah, he says, how much are you, if you're looking to offload these meds, what kind of price are you looking for?
Well, let's see. Let's go high for given the high ball offer first. I say, well, I know what I have, so I'm willing to let it go 700.
He says, yeah, go ahead and make a it should be a broker plus intellect check, but you get a +1
Well,
on that.
Yeah, well, I'm about to get fucked on this one.
But
okay.
But you've done a pretty good job of laying it out and without spelling it out. I'll allow you to make a broker plus intellect check with a +1, and you get to roll that with a boon.
Okay. So with a +1, I'm still at -3. With a boon, however, that comes out to 10 minus 3 plus 1 is an 8, actually, yeah.
Okay, so he says, I'll give you 650,000 credits for it.
Done.
Okay. So you guys
All right.
shake hands. He says he wants to know how you want to transfer the goods. He says if you would like, he can send a medical crew to whatever hangar you're currently docked in, and they will have full licensing and refrigerated storage and things like that, and they can it's very discreet.
Yeah, that would be the best. Yeah.
Okay. So you set that deal up, finish your meal. Audrey and Zerzi, you guys are just kind of finishing up. All three of you, all of your phones, you get a text message from Kurt that's sent to all three of you. Your mobile comms light up, and he's requesting that you come back to his office. So,
yeah, I'm
I
heading
mean,
that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
go to his office.
Okay, so you guys kind of head on over to your office. Audrey's probably got a Astro Burger in each hand as she's walking along. And she's got like a mead hat. It's got a mead horn on either side and a straw that comes down, one straw that comes into her mouth. And on the front it says, I came to bite her and all I got was this stupid hat. And so you guys come into Kurt's office and he has you sit down and he says, so, what I have been able to discern from these ramblings of our agent is that he was tracking ship movements in the Lunian subsector. And there's a lot of good information here, but there's also some odd or interesting information. And he says, his first question is, and hold on here, I need a book. His first question is he wants to know, how much do you know about factions in the Imperium, or rather, factions that are at play within the Spinward marches?
Nothing.
Some more than others.
Right.
I've had a tiny bit of run-ins with minor nobility in the Imperium, but not really into the factions.
So he says that politically, he says there are a few, obviously, the Emperor and the Imperial Moot runs everything. And if you don't know what the Imperial Moot is, it is basically like a Senate or Congress that they don't really have much say. I mean, Emperor Strephon is the emperor, so if he says to do something, it's done. But the Imperial Moot does handle a lot of the lower, the day-to-day functions of the empire. And in the case where something were to happen to the emperor, and unfortunately in several cases the rite of assassination has occurred, the Imperial Moot kind of has the final say on who is going to be the new emperor. Unfortunately, in a lot of cases, for the situation for the rite of assassination, it is the assassin that is made emperor. That is usually how the politics go. As far as everything else, you've got sector dukes, you've got subsector nobles, etc. And so there's a lot of political infighting that goes on with those groups. In the Spinward Marches, one of the first factions that you'll run into is called the Mora Foremost. Mora being known as the gateway to the Spinward Marches. They are a fortress world. They are extremely powerful as far as the entire political system goes. The Mora Foremost is ruled by Duchess Delphine or Adorania Mudashar, the Duchess of Mora. And she has basically been kind of promoting herself and trying to get Emperor Strephon to promote her to being the sector duke for the entire Spinward Marches. Right now, Spinward Marches does not have a sector duke, and so you have all of these petty nobles that are fighting amongst one another and bickering about who should be the sector duke, and in that pettiness and infighting, they prevent any single one of them from being elevated. And so one of the loudest voices is Duchess Delphine and the Mora Foremost. And the Mora Foremost party is basically pushing for her to become sector duke. They are pushing for yet more ships to be moved to Mora, things like that. And seems that some of that was what he was tracking, and he was tracking some of these ship movements in Luñan. Another, not necessarily political party, but another side to that, and let me... There it is.
While you're looking that up, isn't she the one that recently requested a whole bunch more ships to her?
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, she is.
Yeah, that was that previous news report that we read.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay,
yes.
Good.
And the funny thing about that is that just the year previous, she had made the same request. And so every time she makes this request, she keeps saying, "Oh, I need dreadnoughts. I need battle cruisers." And they go, "Oh, we'll send you a fleet of like 3 destroyers, or we'll send you 1 Galal class cruiser," or in one case they sent her like a bunch of destroyer escorts. So she never really totally gets what she wants, but she keeps asking anyways.
I imagine that dreadnoughts aren't common, but anyway,
there's far more of them than you think. Especially the Tigris class. That's the biggest one. It's basically the Death Star, and there are quite a few of those.
Huh.
But the flip side to Duchess Delphine's Mora Foremost is, of course, Duke Norris. And Duke Norris is he's younger. He seems to have less experience. He spent a long time in the Navy, and then was kind of pulled from the Navy and thrust into being the subsector duke for Regina, and he he was made Duke of Regina, but a lot of people view him as not having a whole lot of political experience. And yet, in some of the other cases, especially way over in Core, where the Emperor sits, there are some that view this as an advantage, and so he is kind of the nemesis of Duchess Delphine, because it could very easily swing that for whatever reason enough words are whispered in the ear of Emperor Strephon and Duke Norris could be made the Sector Duke. Another faction that is not really officially recognized would be what is known in the intelligence community as the Imperial Hawks faction. These guys are all pro-war, and so they're found all over the Spinward Marches sector. They are constantly in political councils and in republics, are constantly saying we should be fortifying and making the first move and drawing first blood against the Jodani consulate. These guys want to go to war with the Jodani. Luckily, cooler heads have prevailed thus far. The flip side of them are the Imperial Doves. And they're also not really an official faction, but that's what they call them. These are basically the peaceful hippies that think that they can make peace everywhere, even if there's a world that's currently being divided by civil war. They think that if everybody just stops shooting, then we can all just talk it out, and they think that will solve the problems. Usually the ones, in a lot of cases, especially across the Spinward Marches, the insurrections and terrorist actions are done by the Ein Gevar. And the Ein Gevar are listed in both the Sword Worlds and in the Imperium as a terrorist organization. But they weren't always. They started out as doing peaceful protests. They had charitable actions that they did. When they didn't get what they were ultimately trying to do, they bought guns and started shooting things. This one. This is being in the intelligence community. This may be of interest to you, but in the Spinward Marches, there is another faction that's simply known as People Who Know Rialfi. And he says, Rialfi being Rialfi Amdur, which technically is a name that does not exist and probably never did, but it is a nameless criminal organization that basically runs enclaves on multiple worlds, running everything from drugs, slaves, prostitutes, human trafficking, arms shipments. In a lot of cases, they may be the back end that's feeding weapons to the Ein Gevar, or at least acting as a middleman to feed weapons to the Ein Gevar. So that's something that you might get involved with. He says all of these organizations are could be at play. I mean, what these notes tell me is that our agent spent some time on Gorham. And what I would like for you to do, he says, and he brings up the classified ad from Traveler News. He says, I would like for you to go to Gorham, take up their offer. I will send in some verified credentials for you to meet with the representative on Lunion, and the representative would be Lieutenant Commander Negasilla, and she is kind of the one that she's a liaison officer that hands out these assignments. You can pick up the cargo for Gorham Station from her. I will have we will have your credentials kind of forwarded to Lunion for you, so that everything should be smooth when you arrive, and you get a free payday out of it, and hopefully we get some intel. Would that be amenable to you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. He says, so anything that you can do when you get to Gorham, in order to pick up more information, he says, please take every opportunity you can, learn as much as you possibly can about what's going on there, because it is clear from all of this data that he spent some time there, and I think that Gorham may have been the beginning or the instigator that caused him all of his problems. He says, Ed, feel free to leave whenever you're ready. And he kind of hits a button and he says, I have already transmitted the reference data for you, and it will be shipping out on an X-boat for Lunion. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it'll be there in a week. Whereas you guys have 3 before you can get there. So it'll be there 3 weeks ahead of you, or at least 2 weeks ahead of you. Assuming that you work to leave right now.
Right.
Did you manage to get access or get a permit for Kaz to potentially get some military gear?
So he did. He says he says, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do better. But he passes you each one. And he says these are basically they're falsified documents that should pass scrutiny. And they basically what he recommends is, don't try to walk into, don't try to walk into an armory and just say, "Hey, I'm here to requisition stuff." That's not going to work. That's going to make them look at these documents too closely. But if you go to Instel Arms and you want to purchase some military grade hardware, you should be good to go. Now, he says these false documents are good for you in the Imperium. I'm assuming that you're probably wanting to go and try to purchase some equipment from some higher level or some higher tech level worlds, and that's acceptable. He says you can do right now. You can do the similar thing right here on Biter in the Sword Worlds Confederation. You are cleared to purchase some of our equipment. You're not going to be cleared for everything, but you can purchase like some small arms equipment and things like that. Grenades, we'll sell you grenades.
Oh, that's good.
Hold on here, where is it? Here we go. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. They don't have a whole lot. I mean, the Sword Worlders really like single fire weapons. They don't have like full auto guns. So anything out of the Central Supply Catalog chapter, Sword World Central Supply Catalog chapter out of Sword Worlds, you can pretty much buy minus like most of the vehicles. You could probably buy a Vijari wheeled utility vehicle if you really wanted one. Or maybe if you were to find like a surplus wheeled APC, you might be able to pick one of those up if you wanted to. But you're not going to be able to buy like the penetrator cannon, so it's going to be mostly the personal arms stuff. here. But if you, I mean, these falsified documents, you should be able to walk into Instel Arms on any world within the Third Imperium, and they should take these at face value and just run with it. They're not going to look at this too hard.
Awesome. Honestly, that's just great.
Okay. So he says, if you could leave as soon as possible, those documents are probably already on their way, and I look forward to hearing back from you. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, the first thing is once we get out of the Narc's office, I'm going to tell the crew that, by the way, I found somebody to offload that questionable cargo that we have that we've had sitting in our private cargo compartment for the past 2 months now. So the medical crew is going to come on by to do a sweep of the ship, and that's that'll be that.
Sounds good. I sold the ore we had in the ship, and I also sold mining data. Made a fair amount. Do you tell Zerzy how much you sold it for?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, but I'll also say, let's wait until the money actually is, here on our ship.
Well,
before we really start counting.
It all goes well, we'll have about 1.3 million credits on the ship.
Excellent.
I do need to know, since we parked here, do I need to do maintenance costs and everything here?
Yes, you do.
All right.
So let me. Oh. Bring up stuff.
So I need to do both the 9210 and the 255833 credit.
So yeah. So let's see here.
I've got it on my.
You could make a mortgage
sheet.
payment as well. So you're looking at 20,000 credits for a full tank of gas. 14,000 for life support. And it has been about a month, so 9,210 for maintenance.
Yep.
And then
well,
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, is Audrey able to do some of the maintenance on the ship to save us money, like doing your own oil change on your car?
No. This 9210 per month is assuming that your engineer is doing most of the work.
Okay.
And part of that too is paying the fee for a maintenance inspection by Starport crew. So they, it's like doing an addition to your house. Like you have to have these assholes from the government come out and say whether or not the beam that you're using is the right length and thickness, and that you use the right size of bolts. But so 9210 is assuming that you do most of the work on your own, because anything else you're talking about, now you're talking about a refit cost, which is exponentially more expensive. So if you wanted to, you could pay the 255,833 now. I mean, you could pay, I don't know, you could pay more in advance if you wanted to. It's up to you.
What I did is I did all of those payments, which a grand total will cost us 259,043 credits. Assuming all the payments go well with Kaz's sale, that would bring our ship's money down to 1,062,000 credits, 284 credits.
Oh, then we still have some left over, and we'll be getting more.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way back to Docking Bay 2, and like clockwork, a pharmaceutical team shows up. And they are pushing a refrigerated cart that has, medical labels all over it, and it says urgent, do not open, etc. And they come aboard, and one of the crews opens it up and pulls out a case and sets it down, and he flips the switches and he opens it up, and inside are the promised 650,000 credits for the Anagathics.
Yeah, and I will put in take out the basket full of goodies from our cargo component.
Okay. All right. The pharmaceutical technician just kind of shakes your hand, says, "Pleasure doing business with you." He shuts the case and does a biometric lock on it and pushes it out of the ship, and they take off down the Starport concourse on their way.
And there you go. And then I'll try, take the credits and pass them over to Zerzy.
There you go.
Well, our ship as a total is a millionaire now, so
That's good.
Small accomplishment for us. But I have a feeling now that we have permits to get military grade hardware, that money's probably going to take a hit at the next place we can buy stuff at.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much you want to spend, how much ammo. I mean, ammo is going to, of course, be a money sink.
Yeah.
So there's that. Are you purchasing any trade goods here? Let me bring this map back up. So, I mean, your next stop from Biter, I mean, if you were taking the fastest route, you'd follow the expo route. Your next stop would be... Oh, wait, you only have J... Do you have J2?
3.
You have J3? 3?
I believe so.
Let's see.
Let me double check.
We have jump 2 as far as now. We have thrust
3. Yeah,
3.
you have thrust 3, jump 2.
Oh, I was... Okay, all right.
So, next stop would... So, yes, it would take you a little longer. Warden would be your next stop. Zybon would be your next stop after that. Then you could jump to Dershon and then do a J1 to Lunion.
Can we go Biter to Iron, Iron to Sabon?
You could do it. Yeah, you could do it that way. Now, keep in mind, there is no trade to be had at Iron. Nothing.
Right.
It's a metal world. They might have a small outpost of like 5 to 10 people, and that's all that is on Iron.
I guess, do we want to just, we could buy some cargo here and save it until we get to Zabadon or Abadici.
So, like I said, I mean, if you were to jump to Warden, though, Warden is
we've been to Warden before.
Yeah,
I believe.
I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
It's got a scout base and tech level 12, Class B starport. There's a lot of trade to be had at Warden.
All right, so buy goods here, go to Warden.
Yeah, fill
think?
up with cargo at Biter, and then sell at Warden, and then we can probably buy at Warden.
Yeah.
And then probably sell when we get to Lunion, and then go pick up, and then go to Gorham.
So Zybon is also tech level 12 and has a Class B starport, although it is an asteroid belt. There's no main world. So
yeah, but so what?
You could probably sell a shit ton of luxury goods if you were able to get them.
Yeah, I'd say that. I also want to stop by because, okay, so I can afford power armor now if, we're willing to, not battle.
You're probably not going to be sold battle dress if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, no. I'm not talking about battle dress. I mean, I like battle dress, but no, I mean standard powered armor.
Like combat armor.
Power plate. Yeah, power plate, well, improve this TL14. That's unlikely. Ceramic? Maybe.
Possibly. If you can find someplace that's selling, but armor of that category is going to be difficult. You could
I'm not expecting it to be easy.
You can probably purchase things like Gauss rifles and pistols, laser rifles, Gauss and laser sniper rifles, things of that nature.
Okay, all right, so some more like that. Okay, well, still though, I mean, I'll put in a request, Captain. Given that I'm, ex-military, I would like powered armor, but if we can swing it.
Yeah, we gotta first find a place that would sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're about to probably spend some money and load this bitch up with cargo.
All right, so let me go back to my trade chapter. Sony needs to make a broker plus social check.
Anybody else want to do it, or do I need to just do it?
No, that's all
You
you,
should
my
do
guy.
it.
I only got a 7.
Okay, so you are having a hard time finding a seller for just about anything on Biter.
Probably a Sword World holiday we don't know about.
Ah, yeah.
So yeah, you're not able to find any goods that are being shipped out in the direction that you're going.
What about mail? Or is that still just because I rolled really shit?
Go and make another broker plus intellect check, and you let's see here. DM -1. Broker plus social. Okay.
10.
So yes, you do find mail. Let me see how many, how much mail. No. One. You find 5. Oh wait, mail containers take up 5 tons. You find 5-ton containers. So 25 tons of mail at 25,000 per container.
And we can hold all 5 of those, right? Or
You
I can't
should.
remember.
Yeah, you should be.
We
able to.
have
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you've
we
got,
have
right.
30,
you've got what, 40 tons?
30.
40.5. So 30.5, 10 of that is taken up with concealed compartments.
Yeah, I mean, I forget, we get paid now, or we get paid after delivery, I believe, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, well, I'll take all of it.
Okay. You
And I'll let the crew know that, hey, I mean, we'll make an extra 125,000 when we get to Warden.
Good. Okay. We'll fly to Warden now and drop off the mail.
Sure, yeah, why not, right?
okay?
Basically free money.
Yeah.
So you guys, are you ready to immediately take off?
Oh, we got the stuff. I mean,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Well, do they have that gun store that we can shop at?
I mean, they've got Sword
And still
Worlds.
arms.
They don't have an Instill Arms here. They do have numerous guns and ammo stores all over Biter, selling mostly personal weapons. Like, I mean, you could probably pick up a Holmgang sword, a Luxon Asse, which is kind of like an assault rifle, but it's single fire. They've got Jaegervars, they've got Jaeger carbines, Stuli pistols, 6, knives, VM11 sniper rifles. I mean, VPFs, or weapon of personal defense. So yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can pick out of the Sword Worlds source book.
No, I'll wait until we get to the Imperium.
Okay. Who wants to make an astrogation plus intellect check?
Yeah, I got it. Services, bonk. And anything we get a +1 from the ship, right? So.
Well, you get a +1 from jump tapes.
Oh yeah, okay.
From the starport. And go ahead and give me a piloting plus dex check.
really know. There we go. Yeah, I fucking crush it.
Very nice. Very
You
nice.
did.
Who wants to make a? It doesn't take you very long to get to the 100 diameter jump limit because biter is really small. Who wants to make a engineering power plus intellect check?
I would do it. Engineering power.
Okay. Okay. So finally, last but not least, who wants to make an engineering J drive plus intellect check at -1?
I think I have J drive if I recall correctly. Skills. J drive. Can I take a while to extend
Absolutely.
it to,
You can take your
yeah.
time.
Yeah, so I'll take my time for flat.
Yep. And you have entered jump, heading for Warden. You can all add a week to your study period if that's what you want to do, unless you have something
Yes.
else that you are desiring.
Nope, I'm practicing with my side blade.
Okay. Like it's a butterfly knife.
Well, I mean, because technically, I have no ranks in the melee. Yeah, I only have my the chip in my head.
Oh, yes.
So I actually want to train it to at least rank 0 so that I can have add the bonus rather than yeah.
Right. Shit. There's something that's traveler related. That sounds like something might have happened on Wollston. Seismic event bounced off of the Earth's core and shifted an island country.
Huh.
Like, physically fucking moved it. Like, that's what I call an earthquake. We're gonna just move this island, like, 50 feet in another direction. And so, yeah, you guys get your 1 week of study time, and we will pick up next week with you guys coming out of Jump in Warden, and you can go through your selling process and see about any purchases you might want to make. Is there anything else that you guys can think of that you want to do while you're in Jump Space for a week?
No.
So drinking and studying is
Yeah,
what I'm hearing.
pretty much.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, man, a week in Jump Space would be fucking boring, man. There's like unless you are really into a video game, like you're kind of screwed. But you guys have a really nice entertainment system, so.
I was gonna say, like, there's a reason why fucking Casimir ended up spending like 20 grand on entertainment. Actually, that's one of the things I'm going to suggest that we get for the ship is we get the 3D the holographic walls, because just think about how fucking boring IRL travel is, right? But at least like when you're taking the train or driving a car, you can like look at stuff, right? Like,
that's true.
Stuff going on around you.
That's true. That's true.
While you're in a ship, like as far as I recall, it creates a bubble of artificial space time. And you're just stuck there.
Yeah, it injects hydrogen into a containment bubble around the ship, and so you are in a pocket universe in an alternate dimension. Technically, I mean, we think they don't even jump space physicists don't understand fully what jump space is.
How it actually works, right? But what I'm saying is like, okay, yeah, obviously there's some stuff to do on a ship, maintenance, make sure that everything's fine. Like, okay, yeah, granted, but even so, assuming humans still live on a 24-hour cycle, which we're biologically hardwired to do that, so yeah, okay,
right.
So you got at best 8 hours of work, right? Then you got 8 hours of sleep, again, ideally, and then you got 8 hours to fucking just amuse yourself, like
right.
And our ship's cramped, so
yeah, this isn't a big ship. I need to redo this and get rid of Orion's stateroom and turn that into 6F, so you would have another, unless you just want to leave it as an empty stateroom for now.
Yeah, in case
I was thinking maybe luxury.
Yeah, you might.
Oh.
I mean, you certainly...
Maybe we want like one luxury room because carrying passengers is very profitable.
Yeah, you could upgrade it to a luxury suite.
Might be worthwhile. Let's table this. Let's we'll bring it up in text during the week and then make an executive decision by next session.
Your best place to do that would be at Lunion.
Okay, well, there you go.
So, all right. So we will pick this up next week at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night, and we'll pick up with you guys coming into Warden.
All right. Well, thank you very much
Sounds
for
good.
running.
You're very welcome. Have a
And,
good night, guys.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye bye.